Looking back on the compromise you forged on immigration,
Yeah.
do you think we'd be better off if that had happened? Or are we better off now that it didn't happen and we just have a different president?
No, we do have a different president that's using the same law that's been there for decades and actually enforcing it, and we're seeing very different outcomes. Thinking about the bill that passed, it should have passed. It would have fixed a lot of the loopholes that are in the law, and it would have been easier to be able to do enforcement now. Because one of the challenges that we have is our asylum laws do include a lot of loopholes in them that cartels have exploited for years. They've become experts in exploiting our law because it's billions of dollars of income to them when they can find those loopholes and gaps. I heard a commentator just last week saying the courts are challenging these different ways that President Trump is enforcing the law. Somebody needs to bring up a bill. True story. Somebody needs to bring up a bill to be able to close some of these loopholes. And it was a conservative commentator that was saying it, and I laughed and I thought, I know somebody that's brought one of them.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy, and I know a bill that could do that. Now, was the bill everything that I wanted? No, I'm negotiating with the Democrat White House at the time to be able to get it done. But many of the areas that we need to close the loopholes were in that bill. And some form of that we will eventually get done.
And if I read that bill legislative summary correctly, would have had more of the personnel to adjudicate things faster.
Right. Yeah, we were adding more judges, we were adding more ICE agents, we were adding more Border Patrol agents, we added more border wall. We added additional funding that the administration is looking for now would have already been there on January 1 to be able to be there and ready to be able to go when the new White House is actually sworn in.
So now, we would be better off if I hear you correctly.
I do believe we would be, and I think the other thing is last year we had 1 million people that illegally crossed our border after that bill failed. That 1 million people wouldn't have been here.